I think obviously we're going to, for game one, we're going to start Preston Brown. And then, I think we have a luxury of being able to watch both these teams play. And we'll see two of these teams play. One of these teams, Cincinnati, play twice tomorrow. So having that luxury, we're going to wait and just see in what order we want to go on Saturday. Certainly if you need Ross on Friday night, that might change your plans a little bit. If Ross didn't pitch in any one of the first two games, he might be available to start him on Saturday. So, we certainly know that, Laster's going to pitch. We know Preston Brown's going to pitch on Friday night. We know Jesse McCord's going to throw sometime during the course of the weekend. We know Sexton's going to throw at some point, and depending on if Ross comes in relief in the first two games. So we have some flexibility there. We're just not sure what the order is, and because we don't, we get the opportunity to watch some people play first, we're gonna wait on that.
Have you decided on a catcher yet for tomorrow and the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, we're gonna wait on that too because both of those guys, have a couple of things that we have to wait and see in terms of some healing stuff. So we'll wait and see on that part too. But I'd be very comfortable with either one of those two guys, Cody or Josh, catching tomorrow.
Do you see one taking over, or do you see that kind of flip-flopping until Gavin comes back?
Certainly they're both going to play. When you play 5 games in 5 days, they're both going to play. So you really don't have to make a ton of decisions because they're both going to have to play. The neat thing about playing 5 games in 5 days, you're going to play a bunch of people, and I tell our players this all the time. The players really decide who's going to play, not the coaching staff. And they're going to get that opportunity to make a statement, not with their mouths, but through their actions in the next 5 days, really. So that's exciting to us. You got to win the games, but you also have to find out as much about your club as possible, and hopefully you can do both.
What do you want to learn from the first couple of games here?
Well, I really want to learn how, we handle left-handed pitching. I think that's a huge key. Left on left, and how our right guys handle soft stuff. With another guy pitching. The reason I say that is because when you're in inter-squads, they have seen the same guy pitch so many different times that they, it's an easier adjustment for them. When they're playing against somebody different, it's a little bit more of adjustment. And the kids who make the best adjustments are the ones who are going to end up getting the most at-bats during the course of the year.
If necessary, who would be that third emergency catcher at this point?
We've looked at Cody Brown. We've had him catch a little bit. We've had who else have we had? We had Matthew Britton catch a little bit, and we have a couple of other guys just in case. But certainly that's a concern at this point.
You've scheduled a number of these 4-game weekend deals, with multiple teams coming in. What do you like about that as opposed to the regular, just one team coming in for a 3-game series?
I like it because it really simulates tournament play. You get a chance to observe teams play. You get to formulate a scouting report based on what you see, and it's a little bit more than obviously a 3-game SEC weekend, but it takes on more of a tournament flavor. So. I like this. It also forces you to use your personnel. You can't have one catcher catch 5 games. You can't do it unless it's an absolute emergency. You can't have 3 starters for 5 games in 5 days on the mound. It forces certain things to happen, and I think, if you have an opening weekend and really only a certain amount of guys get to play, I think it takes away from how hard your kids have worked and the amount of kids that deserve some playing time. So that's one of our goals, and that's the reason why we schedule 5 games in 5 days.
Any other questions?